Hello everyone, and welcome back to another VPN review. This time, I'll be looking into arguably the most popular, truly free VPN provider, ProtonVPN, and whether or not it might be worth subscribing for the full service. As usual, I'll be examining the privacy policy, speed, streaming and torrenting support, and finally, security and available features. And if at any point you'd like to check for pricing or discounts, you'll find all the links you need in the description down below. So starting with the privacy policy of ProtonVPN. ProtonVPN claims a no-logs policy, and that means they only log necessary information in order to process payments, data like your email, username, and billing information, which is normal data collection amongst providers, though they do collect timestamps of successful or unsuccessful user account login attempts. However, that does not include any identifying data such as your originating IP address or pages you've visited. They also do collect data when visiting their websites or native applications, using analytics software to collect aggregated, non-identifying information such as the title of the page being viewed, screen resolution, outlinks, referrers, and page and website speed. This data cannot be used to personally identify users or visitors, as they do not log IP addresses and connect them to specific user accounts. According to the privacy policy, we take data security very seriously. Access to our infrastructure and secure core servers is tightly controlled. All of the ProtonVPN servers are encrypted, and we do not log VPN session data. Offline backups may be stored periodically, but these are also secured. In the privacy policy, they also mention that they will only disclose whatever limited data they have on users when compelled by law for the purposes of the prevention, investigation, detection, or prosecution of criminal offenses or the execution of criminal penalties. But that will be the case with most VPN providers, no matter what their privacy policy states. But it is important to note that ProtonVPN is based in Switzerland, which is not part of the European Union, and under Swiss law, ProtonVPN is not obligated to save connection logs or comply with foreign requests that are not supported by a Swiss court order. ProtonVPN do publish and often update their transparency report and warned canary page. Their applications are also open sourced and can be examined by anyone on GitHub. They've also published third-party security audits for Android, iOS, macOS, and Windows in 2019. And when asked about whether or not they run their servers on RAM disks or hard drives, they had this to say: "Kindly note that we run our servers in ROM and not in RAM, but the hard drive is encrypted. So if the power goes down, it is not possible to read the contents of the disk without the key that is obviously not stored on the server itself and do not contain sensitive data." Furthermore, ProtonVPN was part of a group that successfully forced the NDG law to be put up for a national referendum after it was swiftly passed by the Swiss government, despite the law eventually passing following an unfortunate majority vote from the public. I have to give ProtonVPN some credit for taking such measures to advocate for privacy and open sourcing their applications and publishing audit reports. And so privacy policy gets an A- grading, which is a very high grade, only topped by ExpressVPN. And it would have gone up above A- if their servers actually ran on RAM rather than ROM. Now for speed, keep in mind that speed tests will vary in results depending on your connection speed, server load, and distance between you and the server you're connecting to. And generally, any drops in between 10 and 20% are considered to be very good, and anything in between 20 and 40% is still good, granted your speed can handle it. And so my base speed in this test is at 5.8 megabits per second. Another thing to note is that the free version of ProtonVPN limits speeds at 60 megabits per second, and the premium version goes up to 90 megabits per second. But in my case, my download speed is not that fast anyways, so it won't really matter which version of ProtonVPN I use to do these tests. And so having tested a few servers, I got pretty good results overall. The best being a 3.4% drop on the Italian server, which makes sense considering it's the closest server to me, and the worst being a 32.8% decrease on the Korean server, which also makes sense since it's the furthest one. Though I did get great results with the New York server, with only a 6.9% drop. So the speed is pretty good overall, though there are inconsistencies with further servers besides the US ones. The speed can be rated at a solid B+ for high speeds with nearby and US servers, but the steeper drops in speed with further servers keeps it from reaching an A rating. Now in terms of streaming, Proton will let you unblock geo restrictions only on the Plus and Visionary plans. And during my testing, I was able to unblock Netflix's US library. I tested Hulu, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime, and it all worked. Though when it came to other regions like the UK, Japan, Germany, it did work, but it took a little over 2 to 3 minutes to get the exclusive libraries to load. And so while it does work in other regions, just keep in mind that you'll have to go through some trial and error with a side of waiting when it comes to unblocking regions besides the United States. And with regards to torrenting, you will find plenty of servers that support torrenting in the server list. There are enough servers with peer-to-peer support, in fact just enough for everyone to find one near them. The speeds were actually not bad at all, though do keep in mind that I'm using a public domain torrent with very little peers, so I won't be reaching very impressive speeds. So more popular torrents with more seeds and peers will definitely reach higher speeds. So for streaming, while it does work for other libraries, I wouldn't consider it to be very reliable, because having to wait a few minutes every time I have to unblock a non-US library is not very acceptable considering the price that I have to pay to access streaming. Because other VPNs are giving reliable access to many more libraries while asking for less, and so streaming gets no more than a C+. But when it comes to torrenting, the speeds are good and there's support for peer-to-peer activity on enough servers, but peer-to-peer is not supported on all of the servers, so torrenting gets no more than a B. Now ProtonVPN is a small VPN provider. So with regards to features, it doesn't really have the biggest range of features, but they do cover some basic ones like the kill switch and split tunneling. These are even available in the free version, which is really generous of them. And it goes to show how much they care about security and privacy, whether you're a paying customer or not. They also have an ad blocker and secure core, though using secure core servers may reduce speeds since secure core forces your connection to go through secure core servers first and then to your desired server, similar to double VPN where connections go through 2 IP addresses rather than one conventional server route. Proton has one protocol choice, which is OpenVPN UDP, and a TCP option is available, but you'll want to stick to UDP given how much faster it is. Though you can also leave it on Smart, which will use UDP by default but will reroute you to TCP in case UDP doesn't work. And DNS and IPv6 leak protection are also available. So when I did some testing for DNS leaks, there were no leaks or indications of my real location. And finally, alternative routing, which helps to bypass network firewalls or network issues. ProtonVPN recommends to keep the setting on at all times for greater reliability. Unfortunately, when it comes to reliability in China, ProtonVPN has not made it that far yet. And so ProtonVPN cannot be relied upon for use in China, no matter which plan you decide to get. While you might see some more success while combining Proton with the Tor browser, it's still not going to be as reliable as VPNs with proprietary obfuscation technology that's designed to bypass censorship firewalls such as the Great Firewall of China. ProtonVPN has reached a fair number of servers at 1,246 servers in 55 countries. It supports various devices, including Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, Linux, and compatible routers, which are listed on the website. So for features, it's nice to see that ProtonVPN provides the basic features as well as secure core servers for extra security and the ad blocker. But due to their restriction to the Plus plan only, which will have users pay extra for such services, this will drag the grade down to a B-. Other VPNs provide such services for the same price, if not less, so I would consider a B- to still be a fairly generous grade. As for the user interface and ease of use, ProtonVPN does this way better than most VPNs. It's very versatile with a map design that's easy on the eyes, which you can also collapse into a small window. The server list very clearly shows which one supports peer-to-peer, streaming or Tor, and server load. The responsive interface makes it all very easy to navigate, in addition to everything being very clear and easy to read. You can also create color-coded profiles depending on your preferences for very quick access depending on what you're using the VPN for. So thanks to these great qualities and great UI design, it easily earns an A. I won't be giving it an A+ just because when you expand the servers, they will all stay expanded no matter how many other regions you expand. So you end up having to manually collapse them one by one to tidy up the server list. I know it's only a minor nitpick, but to get an A+, you'll have to make things a little bit easier to use. And now when it comes to customer service, this is where ProtonVPN falls short. There's no live chat support whatsoever. So I sent them an email asking a few questions about Netflix and their servers. And after waiting for 3 days, right as I was about to record the video, they sent their response. So just had to wait 3 days for it. However, when I submitted a support ticket through the website, it took them less than 24 hours to respond. So that's definitely a much faster way of reaching their support. Regardless, for their own good, I hope they do consider adding a live chat support in the near future. Also, when it comes to refunds and their server's cancellation methods, they will essentially cancel your subscription and then issue you credit. So it's not exactly a refund, it's just allocated credit that you can only use with Proton services only. So if you signed up for a year, let's say, and you wanted to cancel the automatic yearly rebilling, you will get credit for the remaining time you have left of your subscription, assuming that you'll want to buy Proton again later down the road. So it's not exactly a refund. So all of that will earn their customer service a solid D+. Now they do have a money-back guarantee in their terms and conditions, but now I know why they don't really advertise that on their pricing plan page. Now the pricing plans for ProtonVPN are as follows. There's the free plan, which will only secure one device, servers in 3 countries, and medium speed. The basic plan will charge you for $4 a month. This will secure 2 devices, gives access to 43 countries, and provides higher speeds, and will offer peer-to-peer support and access to geo-blocked content, which doesn't include streaming, by the way. The Plus plan will include everything I just mentioned, plus letting you secure up to 10 devices and the unblocking of streaming services, and access to the ad blocker, secure core, as well as Tor servers. And if you're looking for the secure mail service, Proton Mail, then you'll find the Visionary plan to be more up your alley, because it will include the Plus plan and Proton Mail for $24 a month. All of these plans are yearly plans, and you'll also have the choice to go for the 2-year option for all plans, which will end up saving you a little bit more in the long run. Again, I'll do my best to find some good discounts, which I'll link in the description below, so be sure to keep an eye out for those if you're interested. It'll be worth saving yourself some cash. Now to conclude, I do think that ProtonVPN is easily the leading free VPN in the market today. Now, whether or not you think the price is justified in accordance to what you're getting in return is up to you, but in terms of security and performance, ProtonVPN definitely delivers. However, it's a little lacking when it comes to unblocking geo restrictions on streaming services, which is personally one of my main reasons of using a VPN. But as far as everything else, it has good security features, excellent interface, making it very easy to use. It's also reliably quick and very secure. It's definitely a recommended VPN, which earns it a final grade of B-. However, if you're looking for VPNs that really just do it all, some may be more expensive and some cheaper, but definitely not free, unlike Proton. Either way, I'll leave my top 3 VPNs video in the description below, alongside some individual reviews of each one of them in case you're interested. And if you want to get straight into pricing, I'll also leave links to special deals and discounts to all of them below. It's always worth saving a few bucks that you can use elsewhere. Besides that, let me know if you were just looking for a free VPN to use, or perhaps you were going to subscribe to the Proton Mail service and you just wanted to check in on the VPN service they have available while you're at it. Do you think it's worth paying for and why? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And like the video if you learned something new, and subscribe to stay up to date to all things VPNs and cybersecurity related. Not to mention that it would be highly appreciated and it would help us out tremendously. Besides that, thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.